Hello and welcome back to another episode of Army Men of War Storytime. I'm your host, Mapper123, and this right here is the Battlemap. So I've had a lot of you guys request another storytime, as some of you have got a little bit behind on the story of what's going on in Army Men of War so far. So I'm going to get you guys up to date, but before I do that, be sure to go and subscribe to my other channels. So I've got two new channels now. I'm going to be uploading to my gaming channel prominently. It's like a future project, so be sure to go over there, subscribe. Link is in the description. It's called Mighty Feels Like Gaming. So I've decided we're going to be sticking to the Mighty Mapper123 channel for all kinds of Army Men of War content, Men of War content, series and things like that, and we're going to be play different games, all the latest sort of games, indie games, Ravenfield, tabs, everything like that on the Mighty Feels Like Gaming channel, because I feel like some of you guys just don't enjoy some of my other content. I feel like Army Men of War and Men of War content is what primarily gets the views on this channel. So if you do like watching just Army Men of War, stick around on this channel. If you do like watching all the other kinds of games though, do go ahead and subscribe to the Mighty Feels Like Gaming. So anyway, right here we have the battle map. This is just going to be a battle map episode. There's not going to be any battle in this one. The battle is going to come tomorrow, and I will tell you what it is towards the end of this video, so do stick around. Also subscribe and like if you've not already. We have the Reds, which have just pushed in on the Purples and Obsidian forces, which have been advancing in Tangeria for quite some time now. You can see this is hundreds of miles right here, all taken by the Obsidian forces. You can see that there's a number of purple regiments and companies as well, which are mixed in with the Obsidian forces as well. So previously we did also see the blues, which paratrooped over, and they're over here now. We can see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's around 900 blue soldiers left over here as well. These guys are behind enemy lines. We voted to launch a nuke, so there is going to be a consequence to us launching this nuke. And that is the fact that the Reds are going to be launching it no matter what, even though the Blues are over there. So this could affect the politics of Army Men of War. And the politics are, by what I mean, the relationships between all of the different nations. So if you're new to this series, we have the Red Union, we have the Perlanese tribes, such as the Perlanese pirates, we have the Orange Sultanate of Tangeria, we have the Republic of Viet-Tan. Down here we have the Kingdom of Blutania, which is up in this top left. I have left a fog of war over here. I've not added the units. Only the units for the eastern nations are on this battle map at this precise moment. I will be adding the rest though in the future. I'm currently updating it to the new version of the mod. We have the Kingdom of Greenland, also known as the United States of Greenland, over here. And we have all kinds of nations, like I say. We have Fort Tan, and we've seen so much from this series in the past, so if you are new to this series, be sure to go and check out some of my older videos. I've made all kinds of playlists. I've made different chapters where we focus on just different parts of the war. We also have a main playlist where I've tried to number it in episodes, but I thought instead of numbering them, like I say, we're going to start running this series more like a soap opera and just keep it, just continue it until there's nothing left, basically, because I feel like we've got something really good here. We've got a very unique lore, we've got a lot of backstory. If anything, we could probably go back in time, do some prequels and things like that, but I don't know where we're going with this series at the moment. I'm a little bit confused in why we're going to go with it myself. I've not got much written. We did have this whole skit written where Obsidian was going to take over the world, sort of thing. I don't want to ruin it because that could still happen, right? But with this whole thing with the FTC and Copper, I don't really know if I can go back through to the human dimension, what with the whole toy theme and whatnot. So I feel like we've got something really good in this series, and I'm not saying that we're not going to jump between both of the dimensions, but I feel like the main story should still be in this dimension. Let me know what you think in the comments. So anyway, we have the Reds now pushing against Obsidian and also the Perlanese tribes, also known as the Perlanese pirates. The Perlanese have taken Tangiers at the moment, the capital of Tangeria. We can see the Orange Sultan right here. This is Sultan Laventine, and he is currently in a bit of distress because He is defending against all of these purple militia, which are clearing the way for the zombie hordes of Obsidian. We've decided to launch this nuke, so we're going to go ahead and launch this nuke right now and see what happens. So make sure you've got your nuke glasses on, because this is going to get quite bright. This is going to be epic. Here goes nothing. The screen has gone white. The GOR have launched the nuke in Tangeria. This is going to have some really, really bad effects against Obsidian, against the blues especially. They're going to be wiped out now. I'm going to start deleting some units off the map now and tell you what's going to happen after this nuke hit. Look at the size of that thing. You can see that people would have felt it all the way through the city, all the way through Tangeria. Everywhere would have got the shockwave of that nuke right there. But everyone in this area will be gone. So literally everyone. So let's go ahead and start deleting people, because nobody would physically be left after that. So goodbye blues, unfortunately, but also goodbye Obsidian. So Obsidian have been completely wiped out in their rear. It's going to take another wave of Obsidian for them to land and secure the beachhead again, which you can see the Obsidian still have a lot of ships ready to deploy at will. Maybe not the best idea to deploy here from now on, but yeah, you can see that that nuke would have took out everybody in this area right here. So goodbye blues. That's going to really affect the relationships between the reds and the blues yet again, causing friction among the UCP. But Obsidian, for the most part, have been defeated. So now it is up to the reds to take the glory from this field and retake the city of Tangiers. We're going to have to evacuate the whole area though, due to a radioactive fallout, which there wouldn't be that much of, to be honest, but because it's not that big of a bomb. But for the most part, Obsidian have been destroyed, so that's a good thing on this side. So anyway, meanwhile, in Plastica, we have the Viet Thanh War number 2. So if you remember correctly, we had this guy right here, which is Lord Malice, Lord Tanner Malice, and he led the charge against the Greens and the Oranges, which started landing in Viet Thanh to try and overthrow the government, as the Greens recently allied with the Oranges. And that did not work out well for the Oranges and the Greens, because their preemptive strike against the Vietnamese forces ended up really bad, because Lord Malice, he came over, he took the airfield with the help of President Platos, which is in the hills at the moment. He came down from the north, but there was a bit of politics towards this, because whilst Platos was sent down to the south to deal with the Greens, the Reds and General Sahara made a deal to take the north. So the Reds now own the north, and they have placed in power General Sahara. So Sahara will be becoming president of Viet Thanh, which means that we could be seeing another Vietnamese civil war. So the north is now separated from the south. Platos has no idea, but this was a plan from the Green Queen from the get-go to unite the Oranges with the Greens, to unite the Oranges with the Reds yet again, which are already allied with the Greys, to single out Viet Thanh, take the northern part of Viet Thanh, and now all that's left on the radar is to get the Blues on side back in the alliance, defeat the Purples, and also take out Platos and Lord Malice. So the Tans are going to have this pretty hard. They've managed to take in I can't get my words out. They've managed to take the south of Viet Thanh. The south is pretty secure. You can see that they've got a lot of units around here. We have the capital of the south, which is Saigon. We have the capital of the north, which is Hanoi. So Hanoi is now being host to the president of the north, which is President Sahara. Because if you remember, President Sahara, well, General Sahara, fled from his guerrilla forces, which were down here, fighting against the Oranges. He fled across the border to the Red Union, and that is where the Reds conjured up this plan along with the Green Queen and the Oranges to put him on the presidency of Viet Thanh. So that means we nearly have a united world, especially under the new UCP government. So imagine if the UCP just took over the whole of the world. It looks to me like that's what they're trying to do. Just get everybody on side. So anyway, the nukes have been fired. The majority of Obsidian have been destroyed. It does not mean that they're out of the picture though, because we still have more Obsidian ships. But that means they could either maybe land somewhere else. So let me know in the comments where you think Obsidian should land. Or maybe they'll just try again. But it's probably a bad idea if they try again in the same area, because they were pretty cornered, if you ask me. They cornered themselves. I think they should have maybe landed Obsidian armies in multiple places across Plastica, maybe in Pearl. That would be a good idea, just to completely ram raid Pearl over here. That's the capital of Pearl, which is Palantis. And maybe they could land on the beaches of Viet Tan in the future. So let me know where we should deploy Obsidian next, or if we should deploy them at all. Should they just go home? They still have an absolute mega army out at sea though. Or maybe we could even bring down the rest of the ships, like we could bring down the Grey Navy or something like that to come and take out Obsidian. But we are going to be resuming the politics of Army Men of War. We could see that all nations did unite under one banner temporarily to try and deal with Obsidian, apart from the Tans. The Tans didn't really take much part in this, but then again we could be seeing a little bit of Tan involvement in the future. Who knows, if the Tans decide to surrender and join the North. But that would mean giving a Unionist party leader, being Sahara, the presidency of the North and South, which I don't think Platos is going to do, because he fought hard for his presidency. He licked a lot of green boots, you know, back when King Greenland was in power. So everything in this series so far has happened all because of a new supreme leader. We know that the Greens have always, for the past 200 years or so, have been the most prominent nation in the whole of Plastica, and because of that reason, and King Greenland no longer being in power, and an Orange sympathizer, I would even say that the Queen of Greenland is more unionist than imperialist, as she seems to be more on the side of the Oranges and shares ideologies of maybe the Reds and the Greys as well. So who knows, let me know in the comments what you think. I want to write this story with you guys. So anyway, I think that's about it for this episode. Let me know what you want to see in the next one. The next video will be the fall of Obsidian, I think. Well, we'll see what the AI does. If Obsidian win, we might launch another invasion somewhere around the world. But for now, we're going to be focusing on the betrayal of Sahara to Platos. We're going to be looking at the reunification of Viet Tan, and also trying to cross the Oranges and the Greens over into South Viet Tan again to just completely finish off Platos and just set one ideology for the whole of Plastica. I think that's what we need to do. And also get the Blues on side, because the Blues at the moment are against. They're still like the original Blues, which were on the side of King Greenland. They don't really see eye to eye with the Queen of the Greens. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in Army Men of War at the moment. I just wanted to catch you guys up. It's an epic story. I have a lot of fun making this. It's not just for YouTube. This is a little guilty pleasure of mine, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I sit here for hours just moving these units about myself, you know, and deploying them strategically. I have had to update this map quite a lot, to be honest, because we did move the mod to Red Rising, and we had to change all of the units, so I'm having to replace every unit on the whole of this map, which is going to take me quite a while. But for the most part, we've finished the Eastern nations. So anyway, I'm MightyMapper123. Like I say, subscribe to my other channels, but most importantly, subscribe to this channel. Turn on your notifications if you want to stay updated with Army Men of War. I'm going to be trying for a lot more uploads. I hope that you don't mind that they're a little bit more unscripted, a bit like this one. But if I can get more of these out, I'm pretty sure you guys find them enjoyable, because I find them enjoyable anyway. So anyway, I'm MightyMapper123, and I'll see you all in the next one.